Hi guys, welcome back. It's Floz. I've got some quantum frames here, and today we're gonna unbox and I will try to load the fabric on here. Let's do this. Whoa. Okay. So I actually got this as my early birthday present because my actual birthday is in October. But in this household, we have this tradition of getting birthday present very early. As you can see, I was struggling with the packaging big time. The outer packaging was this sturdy cardboard with many layers of sticky tapes all over, so it was hard to cut through them. Inside, everything was wrapped in layers of this paper netting, and the rods and the sidebars were cling wrapped in pairs. So I actually got these frames from Thread Collective in Australia, and as far as I know, it is the only place in Australia that actually stocks these. And they generally have stock for all the lengths. Ooh. Okay. So I've got 80 centimeters frame. Wow, okay. And a 60 centimeters frame. And just the normal stretches bar, whatever they're called. Sidebar, maybe the sidebar. Right there. I purchased everything on the 10th of August, just before I was heading out for work. That was about 1:19 in the afternoon. When I got to work, I saw the notification that the items were shipped already. Everything was all within 20 minutes of purchase, and I'm not joking. I was so surprised at the time when I got to work. The bars were then delivered exactly 1 week later with Australian Post, so the whole process was very smooth. I was expecting the wood to be kind of raw, but this is very nicely treated with like a very smooth coating. So you can't feel the grains of the wood at all. But these sidebars you can. Definitely can feel them. JP and I were trying to figure out how the whole rod and bar situation worked. You guys will see how everything is loaded later when we actually load the fabric on, but essentially the sidebar had the wood side with the knob to go into one rod. Then the plastic screw had the same thing. Just put the plastic part all the way into the wood part first, with the whole plastic screw in there. You would load the fabric in both rods, then roll the fabric up to the desired position. The exposed area will have to be compatible with the length of sidebar you have. Once you've done so, slot the side bars in the rods on both sides, then start twisting the plastic screw until the fabric is taut. Let's try to load it, I guess. Let me grab my project. So this is the reason why I need a frame. I wanted to see all its glory. And when you saw it, it was literally just in a Q-snap. I think 11 by 17 Q-snap. Hence all the wrinkle on the side. So the fabric has 76 centimeters this way. Supposed to load it. Oh, maybe need something to make sure it goes in. I might need to have a card or no, not a coin. Something so make sure the fabric goes in. Would a pen do it?
Maybe. Yeah.
That is not the same length though. It's poking out. How's that?
Looks much better.
I was expecting this to be much easier, even though it's not hard. How do you... Seriously? I feel like you can't go on. Like it's not smooth whatsoever. So how do you put it in?
Looks like it's going in alright. Yeah, I think you just go do that.
Oh, but I can't. I have to push it from the other side.
I'll help. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have to do the same thing.
Need to swipe your card.
JP and I actually went for a run, so my legs are very sore. And it's pretty hard trying to squat. The principle of fabric loading should be pretty obvious. You use a card to push the fabric into the groove of the rods, then slide the inner rod on top to secure. However, the reality of things was I struggled so much. In fact, the whole video I was just struggling. The fabric kept catching onto the texture of the inner rod instead of being obedient and laying flat. So as you can see, I did not successfully put the fabric in by myself, so I needed JP's help. With one person pushing the fabric in ahead of the other person pushing the inner rod and twisting at the same time, it went much more smoothly. Twisting the inner rod reduced the fabric from catching on to the wood texture, hence success.
What do I do about this?
Well, that's probably something you'll have to find out. Should we pause it while we figure out what the next bit is and then we'll record that?
Okay.
Or you just want to record the whole time and then you can cut it later?
Try not to do that. Yeah, that definitely goes there. So how do you stop it? Oh, maybe it doesn't roll. That's how you stop it.
What doesn't roll?
As in,
No, but these are still gonna. These should be extendable. You should be able to have it this far apart if you wanted, or not. Or, oh, I guess it doesn't matter because if this is pushed in, it won't come out, right?
I think so.
Like that. So you fit in between, and then extend them as
Yeah.
much as you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Unroll it. Actually, but it doesn't matter if they've recorded it. Alright, ready? It's us.
To be honest, they slot in pretty well.
They're not equal.
No, I know.
I think you would have rolled it the other way, wouldn't you?
No, I think this,
Shouldn't the fabric be going over, not under? Do you know what I mean? Like, down there, the fabric's going under.
no, I'll have to roll more.
Oh, yeah. But you don't
Because
roll the
right
other way?
now, this is too long. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. It's too loose. It needs to be taut. But you wouldn't roll the other way?
I don't get what you mean.
Yeah. So that it looks... So it's hanging over like that instead?
No,
Oh, okay.
because you always want to protect whatever's inside.
Uh-huh.
That is. That might be too little, or but I don't have an option. It's either short or. So it has to be like this.
Hmm? You know, you have to shrink them first. And then put them in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. the middle is not very taut. The side seems okay.
You're pushing the limits.
Maybe it's not too bad. Okay. So as you can see, I've loaded the fabric on there. I had to use a card of some sort to make sure the fabric goes into the groove, and then use this, I don't know, stick and to go over the fabric. The tightness is okay. Obviously, yeah, I guess it's not as taut as it could be, but yeah, it's fine. The sidebar I got was 15 centimeters. I would assume if you get 20 or anything more, it would be harder to keep the tension. I think there's also the option to get 10, but 10 means you barely get a page. Okay, let's try to load it onto the Lowery stand, I guess. It took us quite a while to actually load the whole thing in because this is an 80 centimeter frame. It takes up most of this space across my armchair, so a lot of things need to be shuffled somewhere else. And as I was, I guess, transporting this frame, the screw got a bit looser, so I had to tighten it. Now it should be pretty tight on the side. I pretty much twisted as tight as it could be, but as, I don't know, I hope you can see the middle, it's still kind of loose. The side is really good though. You do have the option of getting the, I think the bar with the side stretcher, so it can, you know, stretch it sort of lengthwise, but the only problem is that really limits how, I guess, short your fabric can be. So there is a minimum fabric length restriction if you want that, and the price for that is significantly higher as well because of the metal stretching part on the side. What else do I want to tell you? So as you can see, this stand just becomes a lot more wobbly, obviously because now I'm working towards the middle. I think here is pretty much the midpoint of the whole project. I can't clamp it any closer to the middle anymore because then I'll have to work towards the left and it will be very uncomfortable for me. And then I also changed where I clamp on my iPad holder and obviously the light. So I don't know how it's gonna work really when I stitch for now. Hopefully I can do some stitching on this one tomorrow. But first impression, very wobbly. I don't think it's... No, it can't be the stand's fault. I have a feeling... Oh, actually. This... Oh, the stand actually is on an angle. That's probably also why it's...
The base.
Yeah, it's very wobbly. It's not that, it's the base. You need to adjust the base. Ooh.
Still wobbly?
Well, at least I don't feel the base wobbly anymore. So with the Lowery stand, if sometimes you notice you feel like this whole thing is a bit wobbly, it's probably because the base is on an angle. It has to be really horizontal I guess, to your project. Then it's a bit more sturdy. But yeah, this project just got a whole lot wobblier. I'm hoping it will still be okay working on it. It's not like I'm really getting into stitching and then the whole thing just falls off. But JP did give me a suggestion of putting
Put it on.
putting something on the side, just as a cushion. No, I think it needs to be a bit thicker than a bed sock.
Just that.
So yeah, I guess if I have a cushion on this side and I can push down, then that would be a lot better. The only thing is, because it's so wide, it makes going out of the armchair a lot more difficult. But you win some, you lose some, right? Yeah. Other than that, the frame is pretty well made. It takes a little bit of, I guess, fiddling to get everything assembled. What else did I want to say? I think that's it. Oh, because I'm worried about how the frame adapter is clamping onto the fabric, so at some point I think I'll have to get a bar cover. I don't know what the official name is, just to cover this area, so when this metal part goes onto the project, it will go onto a fabric, the cover instead of the actual fabric. I mean, down here it's probably okay because this is the back of the project, but up here you do have this little section of the actual front of the project the metal part can touch. So I guess I'll have to look into that soon and buy one next month. Yeah, I'll film the next part tomorrow when I actually get to stitch, and then I'll maybe film a little bit of how I stitch and get along with this new setup. But it's nice to see the whole fabric, because before it was literally just cut off here and I just kept having the illusion that, oh, maybe I'm getting there, but nah, I was literally halfway. So this is the third page of the project. I think it's here. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hi guys, welcome back. I am just here filming a little clip of my thoughts after using this setup with the quantum frame for a few days now. So this setup might have been different from what you originally saw in the previous clip. So when I first set this up, the main difference would be pretty much the length of the sidebar. So previously when I set it up, the screw was pretty much all the way out and it was very wobbly here, almost bent. I didn't know why, but when I was adjusting this today, I realized even though it wasn't all the way out, because there was very little inside of this wooden casing, it wasn't very stable. That's why it was trying to wiggle out almost. So now this length is about 17 centimeters and this is 15. So this is a 15 centimeter sidebar. Right now I'm using 17 centimeters of it. Now, because I've shortened this length significantly, the middle tension is actually pretty good. I did try to film this part yesterday when before I changed this whole I guess setup, this length situation. So if I could show you, I'll find that clip for you, but this bit was so loose, and when I was trying to stitch with that, I had to use one of my hand underneath to sort of hold the fabric just to make sure it didn't like dip too much. But right now it's really good. And on the side, it's really good as well. One thing to note though is obviously I've got this Lowery stand with the frame adapter, and it only has one, I guess, touching point for this whole frame, and the frame is really long. I guess to be comfortably held by this frame adapter, so it is rather wobbly. Hence, I have this cushion just to hold it a little bit, so when I try to work on it, the whole frame doesn't just try to dip too much. It gives it a little bit more support here. I guess if you're trying to work in the middle here, that's the most awkward, because if you're trying to get to the middle, that means your support point with the frame adapter will have to be on the side, and that means in terms of your weight distribution of the frame, it will be lopsided, hence the wobble situation. I've got my iPad holder on this side just to try to balance the weight a little bit, but even with that, it's still wobbly. And because I've got this 80 centimeter frame, which is really big to contain my fabric, the whole weight up here is quite considerable. So when you try to move, get in or get out, you have to make sure you hold this the whole time just to move it, because at any point, especially when it's opening, more sideways, if you lose this grip, it's gonna topple any moment. And it almost fell completely one time because I wasn't holding it properly. Another thing to keep in mind is your base down here, it should be parallel to the position of your frame, just to make sure it's as stable as it can be. Otherwise, it will fall over as well. So yeah. So in terms of the whole quality of the quantum frame, it is really good. It is quite sturdy. The wood is very well polished, and it's tough enough that you can do most things with it without worrying that the wood is gonna break. So obviously this is 80 centimeters. It already feels pretty sturdy. If you get smaller frame, I'm pretty sure it will feel better. In terms of the sidebar, like what I said, after I changed the length of it, the tension feels pretty good already, but if you do want more tension, especially in the middle, you can use one of those, I think, elastic with a peg, like one here, or there's also the one that's made of silicone or that type of material that has the magnets on one side, like a round magnet, so you wrap it around the bar and then just the magnet bit will hold on to your fabric. So that will provide more tension if you'd like. In terms of advice, so with the Lowery stand, like what I said, because of the support point, there's only one point. The bigger the frame, the less weight balanced it's gonna be. So if you're going to buy a smaller frame for like a medium-sized project, I guess, like a 50 centimeter frame or like 60 even, this whole wobbly situation will be a bit better than what I've got, just because there's not a whole lot of weight up here. It's slightly lighter, and also it's not as long. And in terms of the sidebar, at this stage, I don't recommend you getting anything bigger than 15 centimeters. So, like what I said, 17 on 14 count fabric. This is, so it's pretty much showing me one page. If I really want to get, like, shuffle the fabric a bit more, I think it's comfortably gonna show me 1 page worth. I know it's kind of tempting to have a lot more work area so you don't have to, you know, adjust the fabric as often, because it is a bit of a journey trying to get your fabric out and roll the frame multiple times and then tighten this thing just to make sure everything's all, you know, properly installed. But imagine the more workspace you have, the more difficulty you're gonna have trying to get access to the top bit. Obviously, the closer you're working towards your body, the more comfortable you're gonna get. If you keep getting further and further away from your body, then you will, I don't know, try to shuffle your body just to make yourself work harder, and then you have aches and pains. And that's what I got working on this sort of with the unadjusted version for a couple of days. My right shoulder was killing me because this bar is preventing my right shoulder from getting closer to my body so I can sort of provide support, if that makes sense. But I was working here. So I had to raise up my right arm just to get to this, because this bar was, you know, preventing my arm from getting comfortable. So now that I have shortened the length here, it gave me better tension for my fabric, and it also made working up here a lot more comfortable. So that's it. I don't think you're gonna have as much trouble if your armchair does not have like really high armrest. Because yeah, the armrests are preventing my Lowery stand to go any lower. So naturally, I have to raise my arms just to work on my project. Alternatively, I can have a higher cushion just to raise my overall height a little bit. But right now, to be honest, this is pretty high already. And if I have a higher cushion, myself might be a bit unstable. Just sitting here. What else do I want to tell you? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful in terms of giving you advice on what length you would like for your frame, or specifically quantum frames. Also in choosing the sidebar, or whether you need a stretcher. So yeah, I'll keep working on this project. I don't like the fact that it is really preventing me from getting in and out of the chair easily, but I do appreciate the fact that with the length of the frame, I get to see the whole project very easily, instead of, you know, most of the fabric getting hidden in the Q-snap grime guard. Oh, right. So I have ordered the grime guard for the bars. I will tell you the details maybe in the next monthly Flosstube update video, but they were custom made and the lady was really nice. So I'm just waiting for those things to get to me. And the grime, so I ordered the grime guards for the 80 centimeter and the 60 centimeter one I haven't used yet. And then also the storage bags for these bars, just in case, like later on, if I do want more whips, I want to put them away somewhere. At least they won't get dusty, so they will be well kept in those cute bags. So now they're just being shipped to me. And hopefully I'll get them soon. And those are my birthday present from me to myself, even though my birthday is like in 2 months. So yeah, I have that to look forward to. Please in the comment section let me know your experience with the quantum frame, also what you're working on, what's the length you got, what's the length of the sidebars you got, whether you got the sidebars with stretchers, what kind of setup you have, all the good stuff. So we can just bounce ideas off each other to make sure our stitching journey is as enjoyable as it can be. I'll just leave you here. Until next time. Bye!